Cactv, igniting the apostolic fire. Cactv, igniting the apostolic fire.
Yes, good morning and welcome to the newspaper review on Morning Dew. I am Mudut Dominic.
Good morning, and I'm Dapo Oloronto. Good morning, Mudut. Good morning, Nigeria.
Good morning. It's good to have you on set. All right, so quickly we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the news making headlines around the globe, and then we'll take a look also at the quote for the day. So stay tuned, go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Cactv, igniting the apostolic fire. Cactv, igniting the apostolic.
Welcome back. Very quickly, I will just share with us the quote for the day, which is from the book of Romans chapter 10 and verse 17. It says, "So then faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God." What does that tell us? Faith comes by hearing, because we all need faith to walk with God. We need faith to achieve so much in life. We need faith to project and have our projections fulfilled. So if we need to walk by faith, then we need that to function by the word of God. We need to get used to the word of God. And how? By listening to messages, by reading the Bible. So I want you to anchor your day on this quote, and that way you will move in faith that move mountains. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Dapo, for that quote. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's take a look at the news making headlines. So first, we're starting with the Punch newspaper, as usual. All right, let's dive right in with the first story that we have, and this says military police vow tough actions for ballot box snatchers. The military and the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, have declared a battle against hoodlums who may be planning to snatch ballot boxes during Saturday's governorship elections in Kogi, Bayelsa, and Imo states. The security chief threatened to deal with troublemakers, just as the police authorities said they had deployed 6,000 to 7,000 personnel in Kogi and Bayelsa states ahead of the poll. Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State and his counterpart in Bayelsa State, Doye Diri, are seeking re-election, while Governor Yahaha Bello of Kogi State is rounding off his second term and is supporting the All Progressive Congress candidate Usman Ododo, whom he anointed among the aspirants to win the party ticket. Speaking on the security operations for the election, the General Officer commanding 6th Division Nigerian Army Land Component, Commander Joint Task Force South Operations of Delta Safe, Maj Gen Jamal Abdusalam, warned anyone planning to snatch ballot boxes or cause trouble in the governorship poll to steer clear of the coastal state or face the consequences. Okay, so that's the first story that we have, and this is a mean thing, and I think that whosoever might be planning to snatch whatever ballot box should be warned. And with this coming up, this being a front say from the governor, I think that a lot of things will be put in place. And looking at the fact that I'm sure there are cases of this before for this to be coming up at this time. So, and we're also trusting the police force to also make sure that they do their duties. So what's your take on this?
Well, I'll just pick it from where the Major General Jamal Abdusalam had nailed it by saying it's no go area for hoodlums. ballot boxes snatchers. They will be severely dealt with. Whoever attempts to, dive and to, cause any issue on that day of election, which I think that is what we have been hoping that will take place, anytime we are having an election, compared to the election we had in Lagos and some other states during the governorship election and the presidential. I think we need more security personnel to be on ground in a way that they can curb ballot snatchers, people that disrupt the queues, people who disrupt election generally. So these are things that we must really look into. And beyond that, the INEC is even my concern, because Major General has spoken, the police has spoken. What is INEC saying? Are we going to have a smooth ride for everyone whose name is on the ballot? Are we not going to be, is NFPP going to be seeing their logo? Is APC, is PDP, is Labour going to be on, are there not going to be issues like we've had in time past? So these are the questions surrounding this forthcoming election, and I believe, just like the Major General has promised, security wise they are prepared. The police said they are prepared. I pray INEC is as prepared, just like the generals has claimed to be.
Because it's one thing for this to be said, and it's another thing for people to have the confidence to go out there and cast their vote, going by the previous election that took place and in other states where there were chaos everywhere, and then the fear already is in the minds of people. And I'm sure this comes as a confirmation and giving them confidence that, okay, this is what we are planning to do, and then we are assuring you that you can go out and cast your vote, and the ballot will not be snatched, and then we'll not hear stories of having to, when they were counting and then something happened and then they snatched. So we're looking forward to a free and fair election in Bayelsa State and also in Kogi and Imo State. Okay, so moving forward to the next story that we have, still on the Punch newspaper. This says Naira crashes to 1,030 Naira per dollar as speculators react. The Naira crashed against the dollar on Monday, falling to 1,030 Naira per dollar on the average in a parallel market, losing the momentum it gathered last week. This represents a 80 Naira loss, or a 8.42% decline of the local currency compared to the 950 Naira to it closed the week at last week. Okay, this is also the first time the Naira is falling since the Central Bank of Nigeria began to clear some of its FX backlog last week. Current traders, also known as bury the change operators, told the Punch that the Naira was trading at between 990 to 1,000 Naira per dollar. A trader who gave his name as Awolu said the dollar is 995 Naira if you want to sell. If you want to buy from me, it is 1,020 Naira. Another trader, Kadri, added that dollar is 960 Naira if you want to sell. So if you also want to buy, it is 990 Naira. So according to the president of the Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, Aminu Gadabe, the dollar has gained against the Naira because people who had bought it at a higher price are resisting its fall following following the Central Bank of Nigeria's move last week. Last week, the Punch reported that the Apex Bank has commenced the payment of outstanding matured FX forward owed to various banks. So, and that's the news that we have. That's the second news that we have from the market, and this has been a consistent thing. We are going back and forth on dollar is rising and dollar is falling, and then people are buying. Now, to even think that it's being sold for 130 Naira right now is just alarming. So what are we expecting in the next few months, or in the next 1 month before the year runs out? It's a call for attention anyway.
Well, I think it's really heart-wrenching. You know, I don't know how to describe it, because I remember when the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was campaigning, and at one of the campaigns where he was saying the then government don't have brain, because at the time dollar was 750 naira to a dollar. So now that he has came, you know, he came into the office with all the brains, and now the dollar is now 1,030 naira. I don't know what Buhari will have to say in return if they are to reply each other on the ground of a government that don't have brain, and the one that came with all the brain and is now 1,030 naira.
So maybe
and for
knowledge made him increase whatever it is.
And for people, and for, you know, finance experts to now say that it is a gain of 80 naira. I think it's a shame, not a gain. We are not making any gain. Nothing has crashed, left to me. This is a shame to naira and to the handlers. People who are handling economy, they should be ashamed. They should cover their eyes and not come out and tell us that naira has appreciated by 80 naira. What gain?
No, to them go.
When safer, when naira is, you know, it cannot be compared to even safer. We have lost virtually every ranking by the level of currency in the world market, and you are telling me it has gained. We have not gained anything. No, we have lost everything. Naira has lost its dignity. Naira is naked. Naira is in shame.
And I think it's because they failed to look back at when they started.
I think it was just yesterday that we read the new CBN governor.
Yes, saying that he will make sure that
Yemi Cardoso will hit the ground running and all. So I look forward that God will help him to stabilize the operation of the currency of the economy, and then, you know, reduce it probably to 200 or 150 as it was in the days of Jonathan. And we were complaining at the time. Exactly. I think that was one of the things that APC used to counter PDP at the time. That how can dollar be at 150? That when they come they will do blah blah blah. Now ever since Buhari came into power, it was the first government that the APC produced. It has been worse for the country. So if they cannot, you know, take it forward, you know, if they cannot take it back, they should at least return it to how they met it. They met it at 150. APC met it at 150. They should please return the naira to 150 and then leave it there. So we can know that, okay, you did not add to it, but at least you let it the way you met it.
Of course, you know.
They're now taking it to 1,013 and telling us it has gained nonsense. Let's go to the next story.
I'm sure you know that it is easier to build a house than to restore whatever it is.
Yes, now.
So, and that's what they're facing right now. And I'm sure right now they feel like, okay, what exactly can we do? And I think it's because they're also not paying attention to the fact that they need to bring in capable hands or new minds who have new experience on how these things can be worked, and not just recycling it between the old people that we have there. We need a change for a start, and I'm sure if the change starts, we would have there would be a better explanation to what is currently going on.
The word of the president is our final word on this matter. They don't have brains. President needs people who have the brain that can make the naira return to its real value. You get that's what the president wants, and I pray he's able to find one who will give him those sources as regards the naira value.
Well, so that's where, you know, yesterday I was saying that I am really looking forward to Cardoso making something happen as far as this is concerned.
He's a good guy.
So he will not fall my hand. No, I'm so sure that won't happen. So lastly, let's take the last story from the Punch newspaper, and this says bandits kills 9, injured 16 at Katsina Islamic event. The Katsina State Police Command on Monday confirmed that 7 people were killed while 16 others were injured by bandits who stormed a religious occasion in Kusa town, Musawa local government area of the state. According to the police, the bandits stormed the gathering a few minutes after 10 p.m. On Sunday and fired several gunshots at those attending the occasion. The command's spokesman Abubakar Aliyu said on November 5th, 2023 at about 10:30 p.m. bandits in their numbers, widely dangerous weapons such as AK-47 rifles and shooting sporadically attacked the Maulud procession of Ragakusa village, Musawa local government area in Katsina state. Upon receipt of the report, immediately operatives were mobilized and swung into action, where they succeeded in repelling the attack. 7 people were shot dead and 18 people sustained gunshot injuries as a result of the attack and were evacuated to the general hospital at Musawa for immediate medical attention. However, the 2 people out of the injured were confirmed dead by the doctor while receiving treatment. Investigation is still ongoing. Efforts are on with a view to arresting the perpetrators of the dastardly act. Okay, so we are also looking at that story, and this is also sad that I don't know what it is about, Katsina, Kaduna, states like that. As of last week, we had a record of another incident that happened in Kaduna, and where people were, killed, and then they were also adopted. And now we are having cases like this again in Kaduna. What exactly is going on? Now it is not about the Christian. Now it is about the Muslim who were attacked. And I'm like, the question in my mind still remains: what exactly do these people want? And what is the security level in those states? It's a call for concern.
You see, it's disheartening to imagine the pains of the people living in those parts of the country, and it's so unfortunate that evil has so become a norm in our society. Exactly. Killing has become a norm, mass burial has become a norm. We are no longer careful about our security system. We don't mind. We are so used to hearing news like this, and you can imagine since 2015 or thereabout that we've been having this issue of insurgency till date. There has been unrest in the northern part of the country, and it's a shame on the government
of that state.
Not just of that state, of the federal government in particular.
Listen to me. I think let's just start with this.
I'm not going to go because the states they don't have the power.
They should request. That's what.
Take for instance, just last week we watched on TV how police officials fired tear gas at a sitting governor in Rivers State. A governor doesn't have power. They are federal staffs. That is why they can fire it. How can somebody in uniform fire tear gas at a governor?
A sitting governor, for that matter.
Not an ex-governor. Is it that one that you now call to secure your state? It's unfortunate that the country had to be the way it is. But my candid opinion is that
the federal government
should please step in. Take for instance when I have forgotten the community now, when they killed a soldier and they beheaded the soldier and then put the head in a stick and then they are dangling around and singing and all. And the president of that time ordered that community be leveled out. Leveled out. That is how to respond to evil. That is how to respond to evil. Look at what the Israelis are doing to their mass. That is how to respond to evil, so it will not repeat the whole. It will not repeat itself. But when they said Chibok girls were kidnapped and the government 24 hours, they are yet to release a statement, they are yet to confirm if they are truly kidnapped until the US began to confirm and all, they had to take the intervention of Michelle Obama, bring back her again, before the government could even rally up and start showing some demonstration of power and going after and by that time till today not all the girls have returned. That is how indolent we are about security of lives and property in this part of the world. So it all points out to how we respond to cases like this. When we hear an evil occurrence had occurred, what are the measures, preventive measures we take to make sure it doesn't repeat itself, and how do we consult the people? You take for instance 6 people already dead, 7 people confirmed dead, 16 others severely injured. That's crazy.
And at this point, I just feel
that's crazy. Our condolences to the families of those people. It doesn't have to do with Islam or Christians. These are people. These are citizens. Nobody deserves to die in such a awful manner.
And this brings to my mind what our focus is as a state, because things that our government are supposed to be paying attention to, they are not. Rather, they are paying attention to the incentives that they will get. They are paying attention to the things that will benefit just themselves rather than the masses. And the issue of security is now becoming the order of the day, and it really calls for a lot of attention. And we hope that the federal government step in as far as this northern state is concerned, because it's really becoming a norm and a regular thing by the day. By the end of this year, I really look forward to this coming to an end, and we won't keep having cases of such. So moving further, we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at further stories making the headlines. Please stay tuned.
Fire. Cactv, igniting the apostolic fire. Cactv, igniting the apostolic fire. Cactv, igniting the apostolic fire. Cactv, igniting. The apostolic fire.
Yes, welcome back, and thank you so much for staying tuned. This is still Cactv and this is the newspaper review on Morning Dew. And so quickly we'll take a look at the story making headlines from the Sun newspaper. And the first story that we have there says, "Our generator explosion killed 2 at Canadian Embassy." The Federal Capital Territory Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, has explained the circumstances which led to the death of 2 Nigerians on Monday at the Canadian Embassy in Abuja. Spokesman of the agency, Nkechi Issa, in a text statement confirmed that a diesel tank explosion was responsible for the fire which gutted a section of the diplomatic building. Issa said the diesel tank exploded around 10:45 a.m. in the generator house of the High Commission, just as 2 Meccano generators were being serviced by a 5-man team from JMD Company. She said one of the generators was said to be working while the other one was being serviced when a tank containing 2,000 liters of diesel in the generator house exploded. 2 of the personnel servicing the generator died from the explosion, while others survived with severe burns and were taken to the trauma center at the National Hospital Abuja. So that's the first story that we have, and this is so sad that, you know, there are some incidents that you can't just explain how it happened, and then before you know it, just between a twinkle of an eye. And this is one of the things you call some disaster that we don't expect at all. And my sincere condolence and sympathy to those who lost their lives, and also to those who are still being taken care of. And to now see that this is happening from a major embassy, I'm not like, okay, what exactly went wrong? Was it the fact that they could not respond to it on time before the explosion took place? Dakwa, I know there's so much in your mind right now and you really want to talk, so let me allow you.
You see, it's unfortunate that we had to discuss death this morning. Again, it's a sad one for the people who had lost their life, and we pray their soul rest in peace. They just went on doing their daily job and in an attempt to earn a living, and they met the attack of death via an explosion. That could have happened anywhere. It's unfortunate that it happened at the Canadian embassy, and come to think of it, it's sad that it is mentioned that, you know, that it is a diesel generator plant that caused all of that. That what does that mean? It means that we are not doing well as a country. An embassy shouldn't be relying on a self-effort to generate power. The government should be the one providing power. People are ready to pay. Just make provision for power and let people pay. That's another failure on the side of the government. So people have to provide virtually everything, and in an attempt to provide, they meet on unforeseen death, unforeseen traumas.
And I think
so this is their fault, not the company, because you can this is happening in local places, but they never get to the media. You know, we are having this story because it happened at an embassy,
yes.
And that's why it happens in places like Agege, like, particularly in mainland, in areas where with all those I pass my neighborhood generator, there are lots of explosion that never gets to the media. Why? Because the power sector has failed.
And I think
failed.
For me, I also would attribute this to
when is Nigeria going to have an uninterrupted power? Here in Ikeja, as we speak, we are running on diesel.
Okay, so
as we speak, this morning, as we speak, as we are alive now, we are on diesel. Yeah. Should a former federal capital territory, where is not few miles away from the former president's office here in Alausa, should it be said that there is no power?
Well,
few drive away from GRA, there is no power.
For whatever it is, it's still.
So now imagine somebody servicing a generator and there is an explosion. That is what we should picture. Not the company, not the agency, not the fuel itself, but who are supposed to be in charge of light. It's like they're saying like the sun did not come out in a day. Everybody will look up to God that, Father, no, there is no sun. Okay? So that's what is happening. Nigeria has failed the citizens. That's as simple. When are we going to have an uninterrupted light in this country? An uninterrupted power. In Benin Republic they have. In Ghana they have uninterrupted. What is wrong with us as a country? Where people have to die because they have to put up and service a power generator. It's a failure on the side of the government. Absolute failure. And it should be ashamed. Those in charge of the power sector should be ashamed of themselves. They are nothing but a failure. Blatant failure.
Well, this still boils down to the fact that, which you still did not allow me to say, is the fact that we lack maintenance issue. Because whatever it is, we already find ourselves in a country like this where electricity is a big problem. We keep having this back and forth. Now, paying attention to the major things, we are not paying attention to it, and we are not talking about attaching NIN to meter. So this still boils down to the fact that we are not paying attention to the needful.
It's unfortunate there is no time, but
it's still maintenance. It still boils down to maintenance,
crazy.
And we look forward to the fact that we'll have a country where everything is done in order and in decency. So my sincere condolence to the family who have lost their life, and to those who are still in the hospital, we wish them quick recovery. And this is where we'll call it a day on today's newspaper review. And thank you so much for staying tuned. Thank you so much for always joining us. Feel free to drop your comments, your contributions and suggestions. We'll be so glad to read and also to hear from you. So till we come your way, same time, same station tomorrow, I remain yours truly, Mojo Dominic.
My name again is Dapo Olorunto. God bless Nigeria. Bye bye for now.
And remember, be Nigeria, bye Nigeria.
Cactv, igniting the apostolic fire.